record.
Right,
I know it is recording too. But it said recording in progress. It didn't say record to Zoom, it said to the cloud. So it'll be on my cloud. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Tonight, because I know that a lot of people, Kate, there she is, Kate and Louise have been working very hard on their training for Birmingham, which is only next, is it a week on Saturday, is that right? Next weekend?
Yeah, week this Saturday.
Oh my goodness, time just goes fast, doesn't it? It's like next Saturday. I don't even know what I'm wearing. I've arranged a haircut.
My address.
I know, but I just never get round to things.
No, I need to go shopping.
Oh, I'm not a shopper. I prefer to shop online, and then things come and look weird sometimes that you've bought online. But the showcase is only like, don't let me count the days, 10 days away, roughly. I'm at that age where I forget time. I really seriously do, and being involved with VVMK doesn't help because you forget your days. And what I thought I would actually start the meeting with is to go chat, like everybody who's been to showcase, which is everybody here. If, oops, Kate's coming back in, she must have got kicked out.
I'm trying to get on my laptop.
All right, it's saying it's recording, Kate, so don't worry.
That's fine.
Right. So what I was saying while you were trying to go on your laptop is the showcase is only 10 days away, and we can snip this and edit it, but if you were, Kate, you need to come off the laptop. This is what we experienced. But listen, you know my trainings by now, we always seem to have technical hitches. I want everybody to start putting out to the universe that our trainings are going to have no technical hitches. So what I was saying was, I thought I would ask each of you, and I'll just start with who's in my eye line because I have to scroll. Now my online's trying to do something here, so I better close down my windows because my Zoom online's catching up and we don't want any more hiccups. So if you were talking to not necessarily a new person, it could just be somebody who's in the business but doesn't like to go to showcases or hasn't attended one. So what I'd like you to do is to say, what do you feel would be the benefits for a new person or anybody that they would get from going to a showcase? And I will start by saying, I know that this is sometimes really difficult to put into words, so I don't mind if that's how you start it. So Kevin and Lisa, I can see you're top right. So if you start talking, we should, what's your thoughts?
Best thing about going to a showcase is finding it.
Yeah, first one is directions. It's normally
First achievement is finding it.
And don't drive through Birmingham like we do. But the best thing I would say is meeting people, the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to put it in one word, atmosphere.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's the atmosphere. I can't describe the atmosphere, but it's the atmosphere.
It is simply it's the place to be.
Yeah.
If you're serious about it, or even moderately serious, or even anything about it, go to a showcase and you will view it totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the atmosphere.
Atmosphere. That is
it's
the
like
best
you
way.
walk in it and then it hits you.
That's a good one though.
Yeah.
It's the atmosphere, and also meeting people.
It's meeting people.
Meeting HQ as well. If you've never met HQ or anything like that, you get to see them and see them.
You get to see people, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you go back to the old Clean Easy days or go to the Viva Showcase days. It's just that being part. You feel more part of it.
Yeah.
And you're part of something bigger than just you.
Yeah. That's great.
That's about the best way to describe it.
Yeah. And also being around people that think the same as you on that day.
Yep.
Do
Isn't
they?
it? Yeah. Because normally you don't get that, but because you're in a room full of people that do what you do,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Most of the time, if you haven't got a team or you've only got a small team, you're only exposed to that small team or your
Yeah.
customers, and that is it. And your customers don't think the same as you.
Mm.
Whereas if you go to a conference, that room is full of people who are excited and thinking the way that you think, and then that's your opportunity to just soak up the atmosphere.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the atmosphere would sum it up for you guys, really. And I mean, to be fair, I think that's a really, really good one. And what we'll do is we'll talk to everybody, but you might, while we're talking to everybody, come up with other wee things. Oh, that's another great reason. Don't be afraid to shout out. Fiona, you're next in my line, and you look as though you've got the sun behind you with your light and your yellow background.
It's been scorching here today as well.
Eh?
It's been scorching here as well today, absolutely scorching. Right, well, I would say for me it's about diversity. Sitting in that room, and I don't know, when I was quite new to network marketing and that, I was a newish mum doing it with catalogues on the bottom of the pram, etc. And I guess I didn't feel very important, or I went to Showcase thinking everybody else is like big business people, and you know, I'm a small cog. And I think for me, when you get in that room and there is such a diversity of people, and hearing everybody's sort of backstories as how they arrived at network marketing and why they do it, I think it sort of raises your sense of worth and sense of value, because you suddenly realize that actually there's people in the room who are very similar to you. There's also hundreds of people who come from totally diverse backgrounds. And I think the sense of worth comes from that idea that it's very, very inclusive and that everybody is welcome.
That's fantastic. I love that as well. Somebody should be writing these down for me. But the diversity and the fact that, you know, feeling like the small cog, that's really rings home as well. And so when you go to these meetings, and back to what Kevin and Lisa, you're meeting lots of people, like Kevin and Lisa said, and your diversity is saying they're all from different backgrounds, all achieving different levels, and allowing you to recognise just how well you're doing, really.
Yeah, I think it's the inclusivity. The fact that there are so many different people all there says that everybody is welcome.
That's brilliant. I love that. Amanda, it's you I can see now.
Yeah, I agree with everything so far. For me, it's the passion. You can feel the passion within the room when you get there. It's all the knowledge that you can get from different people, from listening to all the speakers and everything, and it just gives you such a buzz. I just get such a buzz from going to conferences and just meeting people. It gives me that fire in my belly. I just can't describe how much drive it gives me. It drives me to get out there and to want to do more to get this business built as far as we can build it and to the heights that it can go. So yeah, it just gives me a great big passion.
Just a minute, sorry, just admitting something in the room. Mary got kicked out. I love that one. It's not just passion. I'll pick up on a few things there, and hopefully if we've got time at the end, I'd like to pick up on one that you said in particular. But the room is filled with passion. It goes back to, again, everybody being like-minded, but the drive that it gives you and the fire in your belly, I would definitely agree with. And it probably goes back to what Ollie have said so far. It is hard to put into words, but that's how I feel. So that was brilliant. Nigel, I know you're sitting there quietly. He pops his head up. Would you like to add anything?
Just got to be in it to win it. It's got to be there.
The man of very few words. Well, hiya, Jane. that Jane?
Mhm.
Your hair up. I thought her hair was up.
Yeah, but Jane's come in as Lynn tonight as well, so it would have been a bit confusing if I had to.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Right, that was excellent. To go back to Nigel and Amanda, that was excellent. Anybody who's next in my line? Frank, hope you didn't choke on that juice because you're next in my line.
Well, basically, as I say, like everybody else has said, like-minded people and all that. But probably the thing that knits it together, what everybody said and are also going there, is the emotion to a certain degree. Because you're hearing everything firsthand, so it's the emotion that it brings out in you, where it's passion, fire in the belly, all that stuff. You're actually hearing it firsthand. So, and you can't bottle that. We can all run back to teams or fellow members in the business and whatever and tell them everything that happened, but you can't bottle the emotion.
No.
You feel the buzz you get from it, where the excitement you get from it and everything. Obviously, you hear everything firsthand as well, and the announcements that's there, and the excitement that comes from that, the excitement that comes from the room. You carry that home with you. And hopefully, and that carries you on, gives you the spur, to get things moving, in your business even more, So I think, as well as echoing what everybody else has said, I think that's one of the things that I would say.
Excellent, excellent. The emotion. We should be taking notes, but I think we'll edit this and pop it into the group for those who haven't booked yet. Wee Jane, I'll say hiya to you. Where are you? Hello, Jane. Your hair's up. It's nice up. You need to unmute yourself. Hello. It's a very informal Zoom tonight. Your hair's lovely like that. What we're chatting about is, and I know for personal reasons you're not going to be able to, for the first time probably ever, make the conference or the showcase. But what we're talking about is what you would say to a new person or somebody who's not been to them, what would be a good reason to go. And I'm just sort of going to give you a wee recap there, and we'll go back to who was next on my wee list. How are you?
Me, I'm fine. I'm feeling annoyed just now, but that's not with anyone here. It's just with the 19-year-old grandson. So I'll just pin a smile on my face.
You look very well rested after your holiday, Jane.
Thank you. We're going away on Tuesday again.
You're away. Have you been away in the motorhome?
No, you
Yes,
deserve
we
it.
were away last weekend. We're at Luce Bay, and we're going to Keswick.
Oh, lovely.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. You deserve that wee break.
Well, if you don't use it, it's a lot of money to sit at the door.
That's right.
So,
Exactly.
and as you get older, who knows how many years you're going to have on the planet that you want to use a motorhome.
That's true.
So, we may as well take advantage of it whilst we can. But I'm actually looking after my granddaughter tonight, and my grandson was supposed to be here between 8 and 9. And I don't think I'll make that. It will be at least 10 o'clock. To say that I'd love to punch him. Moment. You will edit that comment out, won't you?
Yes, darling. Yes, darling. I will edit that out. I'll edit this wee part out because we'll just because it's quite a good idea actually though, to edit it out. As well as what we're doing tonight, because it's a good wee video to have. So we'll get your positive input shortly. The way I'm picking people is I'm going through who I can see on my screen as I scroll around because we had computer problems tonight. Oh yes. Kate, you are the person I see next.
Yes. Well, my reason for going to this showcase this time is because I've been press ganged. But in general, I have to say that for a number of years when Callum was growing up and there was nobody really we could leave Callum with for a weekend, I had to miss a few over the years of him being very young. And when I started coming back to them, I realised I always knew what I'd missed and everything, but when I started coming back to them, I realised categorically exactly what I had missed. And particularly the very first showcase that Viva had, the first live one that they had, was walking into the room felt like coming home. I know I've said that before and it's dead cheesy to say that, but I walked into the room with tears in my eyes and I think I cried the whole day. It was just incredible after everything we'd been through and everything, you know, and just looking for a new business to get started and seeing people we knew that had been on the same journey as us in their own different ways and seeing them again. And I think this one's going to be quite emotional as well because it's a year and a half since we've seen anybody, you know, and it's going to be, you're crying already, Lynn.
I'm already getting emotional when you just talk.
But I think, you know, I think it is very hard to describe, and you guys before me have described it amazingly. It's an emotion, it's a passion, it's a feeling, it's a homecoming, really. You know, when you walk into the room and the first thing you see is, you know, there's HQ staff there, there's product demos, there's, you know, the printing company are there, the people that are going to be speaking, and, you know, guest speakers and everything like that. It's very, very difficult to put a handle on exactly what it is, but there's always something you hear, and it might not be from stage, not putting myself under any pressure or anything, it might not be from stage, but it might be something you hear in the foyer or in the queue at the bar or the toilets even, or the gala dinner. Somebody you might overhear somebody saying, I had great success doing XYZ, and you just don't know what it's going to be. And sometimes it's a tiny little soundbite of something that you can take away and use. And we're looking at a couple of things to say from stage that people can take away and use right away, because it isn't always the big picture. It's sometimes a tiny little soundbite, or, you know, somebody from HQ says something that makes you laugh, or it can be anything. It's just, but if you're not there, you can't experience it, and it's very difficult trying to explain that to somebody that's never ever been and doesn't want to go. It's such a shame because they don't know what they're missing. That's
excellent. That was excellent. And again, Frank had touched on the emotions, and when Kate was talking to you, Frank, I'm getting you in my eye line. Eyes all started to well up, and they got all stingy because I felt the emotion, because what the emotion I felt there was that very first Viva MK meeting and how far we came. And it happened twice. We came so far, then the very first one, and then we'd have another first one, and the second first one we didn't have any products.
And then Michael announced Clean Easy, and you were in pieces.
And then I was so like, I knew he was going to say it. I was going to say Clean Easy. He's going to say Clean Easy. And now, ironically, what I would like to say, isn't it funny just how little a part Clean Easy plays now? And
but at the time, it was like
massive.
At the time, it was a hook to hang on because we'd nothing at the time, really. We didn't have. We were starting again with a brand new business then, and that was such a welcome word to hear at the time.
To me, it helped to get the new Viva off the ground because the Clean Easy name gave us confidence. We could go to our customers, we could explain better. But that was brilliant. Jane, you're next. I'm going to put you so I can see your wee face.
Why did I go in the past? You network. You meet people, not necessarily in the team that you're in, but other people with different backgrounds, people that you can introduce to your team, people who you're comfortable with, and every individual will have their own preferred, oh look, there's so-and-so, I'd like to go and speak to them. And those are all built up over a period of time. Funnily enough, to touch on the Clean Easy products, it was something that, yes, I was delighted to see it, but quickly found, probably within 6 months, I remember saying to Michael, time you phased those out, time you got rid of them. And I think that was just, you know, it was momentary.
Yep.
Not that
Yeah.
the product's not good, but
Nope.
that's not what we need. I mean, well, I didn't.
I think we needed it that day.
Yeah.
That particular day, I think we needed to hear that word. We did.
That's right. I think it
That's why I
gave
said
everybody a common
momentary.
buying.
Momentary.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Mhm.
It was. But yes, so that's why I've gone in the past. That's what I'll miss this time, and I will. But
No.
the decision we've made is the right decision for Jim and I this time.
Yep.
And you know, that's yes, and I will miss it. I'll miss lots of things. And I did tell Michael, I told him last week, I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed in many ways that I wasn't going, because it is a big part of what we do, and the comradeship that we have is a huge thing. And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't all be here. We wouldn't all be in the same group again. We
Yep.
wouldn't all talk to one another. We wouldn't want to sit with one another. So that's a huge bit of it, to my mind. To my
Oh,
mind.
it's massive. It's massive, and we'll miss you.
Thank you. Michael said that, but I didn't believe him.
Well, I hope you believe me, and I will tell you, I believe Michael as well.
I know.
So there,
You know.
we will miss you. We will miss you. I don't think you've ever missed one,
No.
but that was fantastic.
One. Jim went down with flu, and we were in Wales, so we were more than halfway there.
Oh, God.
And Jim wouldn't go, and I was annoyed. I remember I didn't speak to him. I was annoyed. So what? It was flu. But yeah. So you'll just have to look after Fiona, but I'm sure Fiona will be fine.
You'll
probably enjoy the fact that we're not there, because remember, if you're just mixing with your team, you're not meeting anybody else.
Yes, I agree with that. Fiona will not enjoy the fact that you're not there.
Ah, she will so.
But she will mix and enjoy it. She'll mix and enjoy it, definitely. That was excellent. Anybody want to add anything? I might add a few bits of.
I think it's important for new people to see that as well, that it isn't rent a crowd. It isn't people that have been hired just to impress them, you know, because a few years ago in Clean Easy, I had been speaking to a prospect who I had sent catalogues to. She got some orders. She hadn't joined the business yet, but we went to a showcase, and I had my phone on speaker the whole time at the conference so she could hear it, and she was jumping up and down in excitement. And the next time we had a conference, she came. The next showcase, she actually came, and by that time she had seen us all on Zoom. She knew exactly who she was looking for walking into the room, but it was a massive difference to her to meet people that she'd only ever seen pictures of or spoken to on the phone or seen on Zoom, etc., etc. And she absolutely loved it, and she felt completely confident the next time walking in because she'd seen it, she'd heard it. She wanted to meet the people that she'd heard so much about and everything, and she felt completely at ease walking in. And I think that's the same as well if you're talking to people on Zoom on a weekly basis or on the phone or Messenger or you know, and they're seeing your activity in Facebook and stuff as well. I think it makes it easier to turn up and walk in the door and see people that you might not have met them yet, but you know who they are, and you can walk over to them and say, "Hi, I'm so and so," because you've heard so much about them and seen their, you know, because everybody puts you so much at ease as well, people that you haven't met before.
Yep.
That are there they're all there for the same reason as you.
But that also goes for like across the board for you guys. When we see people on Facebook, we see fantastic stories.
Yep.
We might think, oh, that person does that amazingly well. I wonder how they do this. I wonder how they do that. I don't know if your mind ever thinks that way. Generally, I think all of us probably think that way, unless we're really happy with something. But it might be, I wonder what they use to sponsor. I wonder what they do, what information they send. that's the kind of stuff that gets chatted about, not necessarily on stage, but when you mingle with people, you chat and you find out what they're doing is working. And we always said that the meeting before and after the meeting, and probably during the break, and as Kate mentioned, also the gala dinner, but only to a certain extent, Kate, for those who like a vino, which I know you don't. But even at the gala, I mean, people chat about the business, and I would say that you come back with so many ideas. I don't say you come back and completely do sweeping changes on your business or your system, because clearly what we're doing is working, but you might just come back with a wee nugget is something that you could add to. I like the way they're doing this, I like the way they're doing that, we could add that, we could enhance it. And also, we're having such a fabulous team that I'm Zooming with tonight. I'm going to be genuinely honest with you, and I'm not saying this because we're on a team Zoom. I think you guys have got more to offer than practically anybody in Viva MK. I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you, what you've achieved and how you've achieved it. And I genuinely think every single one of you that we're talking tonight, including me, Mary, we lost Mary, but I know she's a carer and sometimes has to go out. But every single one of you, you know, got tons to offer. The actual business. That's my bit. The other thing I would say, like quite often, and everybody will agree with me who was in Clunies, you would hear people who would get up on stage perhaps to do a training or a testimonial, and the business had maybe done a phenomenal change, started to grow really, really well, achieve massive success in different areas. And one of the common things they say is, I went to a meeting in Birmingham and somebody said this, or they said that, and that's what turned me and my business around. So between you all, Kevin and Lisa were saying, what was your main one?
What was what?
I can't.
I can't hear it. It sounds not very good.
You'll have to talk up a bit, Lynn.
Our sound isn't very good.
Because I've got a bad memory. Just the sorry, what do you call it?
Atmosphere they were talking about.
The atmosphere.
What was
the atmosphere on it?
That wasn't the word to use though.
You can tell our internet's not very good today, because we're only getting half of the sentences.
The memory's not good. But we'll not pick on anybody. We'll just say things that came out, which is, you know, Amanda said it gives you the passion and it's that feeling you come away driven. Frank talked about a few things and emotions. I think what you were mainly talking about, Kevin and Lisa, if you can hear me okay, was
I can hear you now.
Just the atmosphere, but it wasn't that word you used, but it was the atmosphere, it was being around people, and if you can remember the word.
It's just the buzz, it's the not a berry buzz.
I mean, we did go to quite a few clean easy ones before I had my children. Then when I had my eldest one, I stopped going because I just couldn't get a childminder, could I? My parents were working all the time, so there was a point where we wasn't going to them, and then obviously my children were older now.
We used to miss them.
Yeah, we used to miss them. We used to get so sad we couldn't go to them, but obviously I didn't have anyone to look after them. But obviously they're a lot older now, and they're all right on their own now, the age. But I think Viva was the first ever Viva showcase, was the first one we'd been to since our eldest one turned like.
Okay, it'd be a very long time.
Very long time. We kind of missed like 18 years without them.
We'd gone a long time out of Clean Easy. We'd come out of Clean Easy a long time before it went down. I mean, I'm talking seriously long time. We'd said no to it and gone away from it. And Viva was the first exposure back again to network marketing we'd had in a long time. And it was it was like an injection of drugs.
The first bit of
It's probably the best
showcase was
way.
the first one we
Yeah.
had been to in like 18
Years,
years.
years,
18
years,
years.
years, years.
Yeah.
And it was like an injection of drugs into you. It was like you.
We kind of missed it.
It was
like,
an old friend coming back into your life. There's
Yeah.
nothing quite
Once
like
you've
it.
been to one and you don't go to any for a while or a long time, or you miss one, you miss it.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
kind of miss the atmosphere. You miss the people.
You don't know what you've got until it's gone.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Um,
I think the lockdown's shown that to all of us.
Yeah.
it's just an amazing thing.
Mm. I think
Definitely.
this one will be. I think this one will be quite emotional. This one, because like I say, 'cause I don't think we've gone really a year and a half without a showcase, and I think this one, I think it'll be quite emotional. This
We've
one.
got the
Yeah, I
year and a
think
half
so
without seeing Mo.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's going to be quite emotional, I think,
Yeah.
just to even see people. I think. Yeah.
I just
It
think
will be
it's
for me. I've got the tissues ready.
We'll all be in shock.
Yeah.
And
But
bear in
no, I
mind,
think it's going to be a good one.
bear in mind when we talk about emotions, that can also be like excitement and happiness, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I
Yeah.
think it's going to be really. It's going to be great. It's going to be a sort
Yeah.
of come together. Anybody want to add anything before I just briefly touch on my next subject? But I'm not going to go in depth about it tonight.
I'll just say, look out, always be on the lookout for light bulb moments, because you don't know when they're coming. I had 2 memorable light bulb moments in Clean Easy Days, and one of them was at a local meeting, and it was Don Campbell of all people.
I remember
It was somebody in Don Campbell's team of all people. That one little tip that they gave me, that from that day to this I've always used, and it was a very simple thing when we only had catalogues, and what he said was, I write on every order form, what was his name? Thank you, John and Jane, or whatever the lady's name was, in every single order form. And I thought, that sounds like a lot of extra work. But I thought, but this guy was a senior in Clean Easy, and he was doing £2,000 of retail a month, and we weren't at the time. And I thought, I'm going to do that as well then, because if your order form looks the same as everybody else's, because all it's got on it is a little white label when you give it in, and people don't know whose catalogue it is, and there's other people's catalogues. So ever since that day, I've written thank you, Tom and Kate, on every single order form, every single one, thanking them for their order every single time for more than 20 years. And it's paid dividends to us, because the customers know our names, and they look forward to, they want to be thanked for their order. And that's a tiny little thing. And the other one was a conversation I had on an aeroplane going to Las Vegas. And I won't tell you the name of the person, but it was about customer newsletters. And I've always done it. And it's just raised my retail like that. Absolutely unbelievable. And you don't know when it's coming. You don't know when you're going to hear something that's just a little tiny thing that will make all the difference to your business.
And just, Kate, just for anybody who's maybe watching this, and I'll put it back so we can see you in group view, watching this, who's new or looking at the business, I mean, you really do retail part-time. What's your average retail?
About 1,700 to 2,000.
And there's about maybe a few hundred for online.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
From customer base.
Yep, between 500 and 700 online usually, and the rest in catalogue orders. And we do a comparatively low amount of catalogues, so we quite often get £10 a catalogue of orders. Not all the time, but quite often we do. So it's nice, but we have built it up over a number of years, obviously, as you know.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, everybody had to rebuild them.
That's it. Well, my mantra is look after your customers, and your customers will look after you.
Yeah.
It's never served us wrong. That it's always worked like that.
Listen, as it just Kate, Jane, got your hand up.
If Kate's finished, yes. What I was going to say, and this is something that, yes, stands in good stead now, but it's been very, very obvious for a number of years. We are in the best trained group. When I spoke to lots of people, and I did speak to lots of people when I went to the trainings, I also spoke to people that, come into your periphery, that live locally, or what, just people you met that were doing the same as you. and none of them had such a good system, had such a good training, and such consistency. None of them, not
Mhm.
one of them. And I don't think, and it was Kevin that said, you don't know what you've got till you've lost it.
That's
But
right.
that's something that is so, so obvious.
Yep.
We've got an excellent training. And
Oh,
really, it hasn't varied much over the years. We've
No.
progressed a little, but you know, the basics remain the same.
That's right.
And we used to say, I remember a training, people used to say, oh, and we can tweak it. And I would say now, don't tweak it. You're already looking at the best. Don't tweak it. There's no need. Just use it.
I think that was brilliant. I'm going to keep that wee testimonial. No, I did not pay her a tenner.
Tara, you need to up the ante, Lynn.
You know what I was about to say? It would cost me much more than that. Oh, that's excellent. But Jane has actually said that to me. Thank you, Jane, for the whole team, because the training is all your trainings. If you look at our trainings, it is a bit of everybody. Do you know what I mean? Kevin and Lisa are going to be doing a doorstep demo training for us soon. Am I allowed to say that? Which I'm looking forward
As long as
to.
you told Kevin and Lisa
You'll
first,
have to
yes.
wait a
No,
bit,
they
Lynn.
told
Yeah,
me.
you've got to wait a couple more months.
You have to wait because I'm getting the figures together.
Oh,
Because we've
that's
done it
right,
without the
that's
figures.
right.
And now we're going to see
I've
with the
never had any
figures.
figures, so I'm getting the pounds per book
With the losses.
with
They-
how many books I've lost,
Yeah. We're getting the
how many
data.
strags,
We're
and
getting
everything.
the data bit.
And I'm going to do it over a long time, so like 3 months, 3 periods,
Yeah,
3 or 4,
cool. Yeah.
because you
But
can't
just
just do it
so-
over one.
But just so everybody knows, it's blanket dropping experiment, as in not customers.
No, it's not customers.
No, it's not because I'm only recording the. It's not blanket dropping. It's just straight.
And not
It's all
condoning.
presenting
Do that
to new,
wrong
and it's a totally new area as well.
Yeah.
So what I've done is quite risky. We have literally taken off
Our customer
our
base.
customer base.
We don't have a customer
We
base anymore.
virtually, because I was wasting my time going out. I've now got photography. So what we've done is consolidated it in 2 areas,
Yeah.
and it's like starting
Starting
again.
Which we have done.
And
Well, we're in the process of it.
we're in the process.
We need a few more months yet, Lynn, but as soon as we've got
Right,
it,
As soon as
okay.
we've got
we'll
it,
let you know.
but it's worked to the extent that we would, although we've got VIP already,
Yeah.
we've done VIP
On
Every-
new,
on new,
on completely new.
on
But
new
we still need more data, so you're gonna have to wait a
this
bit
period.
longer.
So
All right, yeah, right, but
I'm
I just,
happy
I
chappy.
just kind of
Yeah.
feel maybe need to read my messages more closer. Which is hard when you've got bad eyesight, but but the point I was making is not many of us actually knock on doors and present. Would that be fair to say? So there's another wee nugget of training to add to our system, and everything in our system is our system. So part of every single person who's on here tonight. And Jane, sorry for putting me on that wee tangent, but you put me on the wee tangent there. You're right. We have got a great system. We've got a great team of people, and it has varied over the years, as in we've added in lots of things at work, you know, additional rods and additional things, but the basic fundamentals never change. And we're brilliant at doing these fundamentals. I'm really proud of all of you. Right, I was going to ask, this is just briefly because we've got 10 minutes, and tonight my goal to finish on time might actually happen tonight. But what I wanted to ask was, then it was Amanda especially made me think about it and reminded me of when we do go to these showcases, could be a Millionaires, could just be a Nuts and Bolts, might even happen on a great Zoom, but personally I can't wait to get to meet people face to face. I'm a face-to-face kind of person, and I also think you can deliver much more information face to face. You can draw down things, you can do circles, you can do loads of things. So I'm a face-to-face person. But now I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, quite often when we go to some of these trainings, you come back with that fire in your belly, or you come back and you make the decision, right, I'm going to work harder on this, or I'm going to work harder on that. And sometimes we look at our goals and we reevaluate them. So all I wanted to say is you don't have to share goals with me tonight at all. But what I would like to do soon is to have a goal setting training. So I want you to think about this. It will be after Birmingham, this Zoom. Does that fall? This is 2 weeks. So I'm
Okay,
trying
so the middle of week.
the end of the period is going to be the week after Birmingham. Is that right? The Wednesday.
Mhm. So the Zoom will be on the Thursday that week.
Well, how about we do it, change it around just because we had the Birmingham showcase, and have an impromptu Zoom after the showcase where we can capture the energy from it, and or do you want to wait till the Thursday?
Well, the Wednesday is the last day of the period.
Yeah, I think we should wait till Thursday. Right,
Yeah,
so the Thursday,
because people that are going to the showcase are going to have to rethink their retail activity over that weekend.
yeah,
Because
actually,
we're away, so
yeah, you're right. In hindsight, I've thought of the Thursday, because I'm loving the way that we do the recognition, where you're recognising yourself or your own team or anything that you want to recognise. We can combine the Thursday, because it's the end of the period. We can combine that with, you know, what we got for the conference, what our goals might be, if they've changed anything, or if they've just remained the same, which is nothing wrong with that. But also feeling that we're coming up towards the end of the year. Don't know about you guys, but the years are going quick. It's like, really? We're at the end of August? Really? It's the end of August almost, and we'll be at Christmas before we know it. We're coming up to some fantastic retailing periods. Jan Roo used to call Christmas the gravy boat. But not only is it a gravy boat because we get more sales, just to translate the gravy boat, we'd call it a gravy. What do you call it? A gravy. I used to put it in a milk jug and pour it. Well, it looked like a milk jug, but probably wasn't. The gravy boat time where you get lots of additional sales. But the way that I look at it, and it's something I wanted to plant the seed about, is it's also going, we're coming into the best sponsoring time, but take away the Christmas period being one of the best sponsoring times. Why? Because people coming up to Christmas need money to pay for Christmas. And same when it comes to January, when all the credit card bills come up. But I'm thinking, like, the lockdown's been a long time. It's been 18 months. And I think personally, it's getting into the habit now is starting to do all these activities again. We've been, so I was trying to think of the words to put it in. We've been shielding. I know, like Nigel, Amanda, and many used to do flyers and stuff, but it's just starting to get the cogs going, start to speak to more people, because apart from people in the normal situation are always looking for money, we've came through a lockdown. A lot of people have not got businesses, have not got incomes, and an extra few £100 to £1,000 a month might just make that massive difference to them. So I believe there's more people looking for an income opportunity or extra money or just money. And I've also noticed, and tell me if I'm wrong, it might be my thrifty Scottishness coming out, or it might just me not having a grasp on the reality of what things cost these days. But I've also noticed that the prices wherever you go are higher. You know, I don't know about a cup of coffee, but if you go for a lunch, the prices are higher wherever I've been going. So businesses are trying to recoup their costs.
Yep.
which means economically families' budget isn't going to be able to go as far. It might be that they join Viva MK just for to have a night evening meal where they get a takeaway once a week, or take the kids to the farm for the day. We've got loads of wee farms that do things like that. So people are going to be looking for extra money. So next Thursday, as Kate rightly said, will be the next Zoom, because we do our recognition and we can catch up about Birmingham. But the following week, the Wednesday following that, I think we should start to chat about our goals and maybe cover some fish pond activity and how we feel that, you know, where we want to take the team building side of it.
Mhm.
What do you think, guys?
Yep.
It's a room full of leaders tonight, so I can talk freely, which is good.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to excuse myself.
I know,
Um,
I understand.
My
Thank you for
apologies,
coming on.
but I'll, it's lovely to see everybody, and I'll see you all again. Take care.
See you soon, Jane. Don't punch him.
Have a nice.
Oh, he's not here to be punched. Kate.
No, she has to go and see Lily though. 'cause
It's okay.
Yes, I have to go and get Lily. All right.
Yeah,
She
okay.
should
See
be
you later.
okay.
Good night.
Keep coming on.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Miss
Bye.
Bree, I'll speak to you before you go on holiday. She's gone. Lily, it was the reason that Jane couldn't make one of them, and the other one was she's having a wee camping trips with her wee van that she does very rarely. So I'm really, really pleased that she's having some time off. Anybody got anything they'd like to add? A positive story for the week or anything before we close the meeting?
Personalised products are flying out of my door.
Great one, great one.
I sent an order on Saturday with 7 personalised items in it, and then had a drop ship for another 2, so 9 in the one day.
Fantastic.
Louise ordered 10 in the one order yesterday, and then had drop ships for more as well. So they're absolutely flying out the door, and I think they're beautifully made. I have to say, they're absolutely gorgeous.
Right. Good
Really well
quality
made.
and good quality and good prices. And
Yep.
there's see, I missed the deadline because somebody's clock's going ding dong, it's 9 o'clock. But we won't be too much longer, but it's positive. Because that does remind me, Kate, that one of the things that popped into my head was, you know, that we need to do a training at one of our Zooms is to talk about what's your best sellers. We won't do it tonight, but what's selling well for you? What would you say your best sellers? Have that wee think. So, you know, what's selling brilliantly for you will also sell really well online. And
Personalised pencil boxes.
especially for down in England, because the kids go back to school next week.
Yep. But people are buying them for Christmas as well.
Excellent.
For stocking fillers.
Yeah.
Baby cutlery is my top seller. The baby, but it's probably because it's my favourite as well. Ironically, you always sell your favourite. I love the baby cutlery. Grace has even got one.
Somebody bought the two of the wee xylophones from me last week, and I opened them up to take pictures of them, and I had a wee play with one of them, and the sound is brilliant. They're just so lovely, so cute.
Oh.
A real wee heirloom. They're lovely.
Funny, I've got somebody in my business. You'll probably recognise his name. It's Peter Savage, and the only reason you recognise his name is not from Facebook, because he calls himself a dinosaur. And although I tag him, he never sees it. He asked me tonight for feedback on how I felt the personalised would go.
It's fine. Absolutely.
He's got a customer base, so he's only going to customer base. And as you may have noticed, he's in the top 20. Is it the top 20 or 50? Consistently. I'm going to have to go back and look through all my Facebook posts, because he asked me tonight how well he was doing, because that's so much. And as a result of the conversations with Peter, Michael's going to start, I'll double check because it was Kieran that told him, Michael's going to start sending them out in emails as well. But although many of us don't use email, there are a lot of people, and a lot of people who's going to join us who do use email. So, because I was actually going to ask him that question, and I was going to go to Michael and say, can you start sending them out in an email for our dinosaurs? He's quite happy for me to call him a dinosaur because he admitted it himself. But also for people who don't like Facebook. And some people are coming off Facebook and going on to other social media, which is something that we need to have a think about as well. That's just a little add-on. But my views, my thoughts on the personalisation, as Kate knows, Grace has a personalised chair and she's 14 now, and personalised cutlery. I think there's a lot of people like me who love personalised. It sells amazing online. I think you will sell it from your catalogues, and it's just a great gift. Gifts, gifts are hard to think of. What am I going to get somebody?
That's right.
So, personalised gin glass.
And also bear in mind, if you don't already know this, that although the catalogue says you can have 8 characters and 3 lines and all that, if there's something special you want, ask Charlotte, because 9 times out of 10 they'll do it. And they've actually got. Somebody asked me if they could put a club badge on one of the Slate products. I think it was the Slate picture frame or something. They sent me a picture of a club badge, and I sent it to Kieran, and they've actually got a practice slate for things like that. That's how they've learned to do paw prints and hearts and all that.
That's
anything that they can't just type in and it prints it out in a font and all that. But they did actually manage to reproduce this badge, and the customer was thrilled to bits that they had done it. So if there's anything a little bit off plan, the most of the products, I believe, are blank when they start working on them. So although it's such and such as fixed text, it might not be. So it's always worth asking if the customers get a special request. So
actually, Kate, thanks very much for bringing this up. We're definitely not going to finish at 9 because it's about 2 minutes past, but that was a really important thing to bring up.
They did somebody asked me if they could put a full name on a pencil box. And it's a friend of mine from Callum's primary school. Their kids were in different classes and stuff. And the name she wanted was Simmerleen, which is 9 letters, and Sandu, which is 6. So that was like 16, including the space. And I asked them, and I said, if they can't do it, just ask them to put the first name on and everything. But they managed it, and it looked brilliant. It's so nice. So I didn't post a picture of it in case a wee girl saw it, because it was a present. But they were lovely. So although it says you can have a name up to 10 characters or whatever, you can quite often get a bit more, but the font might be a little bit smaller. But it's always worth asking.
Definitely, and I'm quite excited.
That's a beautiful thing that they can do it in house now. It's just amazing.
Oh, it's got the sky is the limit. I can see us all going to the showcases with printed t-shirts or sweatshirts from the VVMK printing. I mean, the sky is the limit. So any ideas? Just send them to Michael, because I mean, the sky is the limit. There's nothing. If you said we want sweatshirts or t-shirts, they would be there. And maybe that's a good idea for the next showcase. Maybe we could get pink, right? Okay, maybe no pink, whatever. T-shirts with the A-Team Rhino on it. Maybe get a
pink.
Not pink.
That's what I said. It doesn't have to be pink. And I just was kidding about the pink. I like blue as well.
Leopard print.
No, Kate will have a leopard print one. See, this is what the good. No, but actually, Kate, what excited me there was the fact that they are doing it in house. And if you've got any suggestions, please send them through to Michael. For example, pet things.
Well, remember as well, I think it was Lolly who asked if they could personalise the little kiddies dinner set, and they did. So that's now, I don't think it's in the personalised, but they did manage to.
So you personalise probably any product that's in the book.
That's right. Yeah, it depends on the surface how easy it is to do, but they can.
You wouldn't want it on your Clean-Easy or your VVMK spider repellent, but what got me excited there was
there's always one that would.
Well, if they buy more, we'll do it. Just do it on the labels. When you said they added a badge, that kind of excited me, because you could say, could you add a love heart? Could you add a paw print?
Oh no, they've done paw prints and love hearts, but this was a
small photograph.
this was something like somebody was being reckoned. It was a sectarian thing. It was I can't remember what it was. It was a pipe band or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they asked if they could have because it was a presentation for a member of their club, and they wanted the badge to be etched on the slate. And they took them a couple of days, and they practiced it a few times, and then they sent me the practice and said, yeah, we've done it.
Love it. They could have golf clubs for the golfers.
Yeah.
you know.
And,
Love
and
her.
there was they put a picture of a personalised coffee cup, and it had Monkey Man written on it, and it actually had a monkey dangling from it, and it turned out to be Kirsty's boyfriend, because they went on a road trip and Kirsty's boyfriend had this Monkey Man cup. So, but I mean, so there was a wee monkey dangling from that. That's not obviously, you know, a regular thing, but they'd obviously just played about with it and they got it, and it was lovely.
So I think that's a great note to end on, because I was going to say, I personally think the personalised could be absolutely massive to us.
Yep.
Especially with the fact that it's been done in-house, and I know for a fact that he's considering buying another machine that does different things. But it's done in-house, and the sky is the limit.
Yep.
You know, you've got clubs out there, you've got our team, the A-Team Rhino. I want to have our t-shirts. You can have whatever colour you want. It can be tartan, it can be leopard print, but I would love to have t-shirts. We could start with just posting them to Michael and getting them to print on them. Maybe too late for Birmingham, but who knows? Who knows? I thought about that too late, but anybody else got anything they want to share?
Yeah, I've done, I sold 9 personalised this time out.
Excellent.
Yeah, and also the Christmas.
Yeah, I know that's
Yep.
going well for you.
Yeah, we did £102 worth of sales out of this little leaflet. So yeah,
Christmas is here.
Christmas is here. They always say if you prepare and get yourself organised at Christmas, it can take you through the year.
Yes.
Yep, definitely.
For sure.
And that's
It's never ever too early to get that started.
Yep. Well, this time last week, I said I was not putting out the Christmas sale in the catalogues. And what I did was I put them out with all my deliveries this week. And I had a customer who had a £39 order delivered on Friday of last week. And I put the Christmas sale in, and the personalised book that she hadn't had the last time she had a catalogue, and the little Celebrate book. And that was at 10 o'clock in the morning. By 3:30 in the afternoon, she'd ordered another £88, including 7 items from the Christmas sale. So she had 3 of the little magnetic dress-up dolls, 2 of the make your own jewellery kits, and 2 of the little mouse matchboxes. That, you know, I'm sure she'd have ordered anyway, but she ordered 7 items from the Christmas sale because that's what I showed her.
Yeah.
So they've had that delivered today. That's the customer that spends about £400 or £500 a month.
Yeah.
So they've had that delivered this morning. So that's August, and they've already started their Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Well,
So I did, on the strength of that order, I did put the Christmas sale in with the catalogues that I'm picking up on Friday.
Yeah.
So I've got 30 catalogues coming in on Friday. I know I'll get sales from it because they buy what you show them.
Definitely. You'll definitely get orders.
Yep.
Well, what I would say, if what Michael said, is judging by this, I think we've probably sold about half the stock already. It is flying out. And also, if you remember, I mean, we used to go to the showcase. It was August, wasn't it, Kate? It never used to be September. It used to be August.
Usually the last. Sometimes it was the
Before
August
it
bank
used
holiday
to be-
weekend.
Yeah.
It used to be June when they used to have 3. When they changed to 2, they'd have 1 in August, they've been about August. And that's when they launched the Christmas catalogue. And then it got early as July. As early as July, we were getting sales. And I think Michael's probably only getting, I don't know, I think in due course, I think the Christmas catalogue might appear early, but I think it's been a good idea to get the sale one and get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, the Christmas catalogue will be launched on at the showcase. They'll probably sell it. We better tell them to get plenty. And we now are starting to really rock and roll with the Christmas period. Well done, Amanda. Thanks for that story. Anybody else got anything else they want to share before we go? And I don't know how long to have a pause before I say, okay, thanks so much. If it's not too late, you can interrupt me. one thing I will say, if you ever wondered what my hair looks when I don't do anything with it, it's this. It's called, it is called natural, but I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. But I'm really excited to see all of you, everybody that's on here next Friday night, if you're going on the Friday. Is it only just a week on Friday? And Saturday and the gala. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I really can't wait. And I do think you're right, Frank and Kate, who mentioned the emotions and the atmosphere, everything's going to be so amazing. I can't wait. I better get something to wear. Right, who wants to close the meeting tonight? It's not going to be me with this hairstyle.
I thought your hair looked nice.
Oh, thank you. It must be why I've not put the light on.
It looks all wavy. It looks really wavy. It looks really nice.
It's naturally wavy. It's
Yeah.
naturally like a poodle.
I like
I would call it like a poodle, fluffy poodle, see? Thank you, Amanda. For that, you can close the meeting.
Oh, thank you. So kind. Well, I'll just say the same as last week. Get
Oh,
out
was it
there
you
and
last
start
week as
selling
well?
Christmas. Yes.
All right, I'll swap. I won't make you close it because I like a wee bit of change. Frankie, you're right in my eye line, so you can close the meeting. And next one, it's going to be Fiona's turn, so I'm preparing you, Fiona. Frank,
Yeah.
you close the meeting.
Well, I'll close the meeting then. Yeah, well, thank you everybody for all your contributions tonight. It's been a great meeting. It was sort of impromptu, but we'll be back. We will be back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
For Thursday, recognition one.
No, you're a week ahead of yourself, Lynn.
Oh, a week ahead of myself.
We're only week 2 just
Hang
now.
on.
Next
So are we
Wednesday.
on next Wednesday, Lynn?
Next week's Wednesday.
Aye, it should be Wednesday next week.
Right. Yes, next week's
Yeah,
only.
Wednesday before the showcase. I'm getting so muddled. Keep
Right.
going, Frank. I can edit me out.
You've got me confused now and thinking I'm saying the wrong thing. But anyway,
All days.
Next Wednesday.
next Wednesday, definitely. See you all next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Have a smashing week. And as I say again, see you all then. Take
Have a
care.
great week, everybody. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. for
Bye.
Bye.
Absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed that. And we'll see you all, as Frank said, next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Right. Bye.
See you next week. Bye. I don't know how to end it.